together. No, it's cool. Well, no more music, guys. Hopefully you heard at least some of the first 3 minutes of this. But yeah, Revenge trailing 0-1 in the best of 3 to set the stage. Loser of this series is knocked out. The winner will play the loser of Dog versus EG. That best of 3 coming up directly after this one, or hopefully with a very short break. And as we move into the second stage of the draft, Revenge probably with 2 cores already. I imagine we'll see Liquid banning out some support heroes. Liquid, a little bit harder to ban against them. They don't have the Quake for solo mid. We've seen a lot of Tinker in days past. His Invoker is gone. The Puck gets removed. So the options for Quake for getting a bit more limited as the draft progresses.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's pretty versatile. I'd love to see a Tinker come out, of course, if we could see one in this game. But I don't think Liquid will be looking to just jump, snap, pick the Tinker if they don't have to. So we'll see what they look to go for. As for Revenge, Mirana, you mentioned earlier, could be a support Mirana roaming around, could be the offlane. Very versatile pick in general. That's where I feel Revenge don't want to give away to Liquid exactly what they have in mind with this draft. Apart from, I mean, Naga Siren is versatile as well, but I feel it is more likely going to be the greedy Radiance Naga.
Ancient Apparition, the ban here from Liquid, and Revenge still possibly needing, I mean, potentially needing 2 supports here. Maybe needing 1, and so Ancient Apparition, not a bad ban. They'll also ban Enigma. Looks like Liquid probably want to go greedy with their supports and don't want to be punished for said greed. And an interesting stat here about the Shadow Shaman win rate. I think
he's beast mode right now.
He's the winningest support in this patch. 59% win rate. The only one higher is Ogre Magi, who's 8-1, but that's such a small sample size. I don't count him. Shadow Shaman is a monster. And I guess a lot of that coming on the Dire side.
Yep. Well, we'll see what Liquid look to round their draft off with these next couple of picks here. With a couple of mid heroes banned out, no Puck, no Storm. Like, if they want to make sure they get a mid hero that's to their liking, they need to get it in this stage now, because it seems Revenge are targeting those Quake for heroes.
Yeah, that Naga Mirana opening very versatile for Revenge, and we'll see how they look to shore it up. Liquid, a little more focused just on teamfight, crowd control thus far. I'm mostly curious what Quake was going to play. I really want to see a Quake for Tinker.
Yeah, same. That would be fun.
It's just like my
Shadow Fiend.
Oh, it'll be Shadow Fiend.
That's good too.
Good hero versus Naga mid. You can do well in that farm war, and Naga's not going to kill you 1v1 unless you screw up.
Yeah. They also have a great pushing lineup as well in general. Great Roshan taking lineup, Shadow Fiend with the minus armor to help out later on. Shadow Shaman wards doing physical damage as well. So with the minus armor, there's definitely Roshan potential, which is always what you want when you're on that dire side.
Third pick for Revenge. What's it going to be? In terms of supports out there, there is a Visage who's available. Not a support they favor. I'm expecting more like a Bane, maybe a Shadow Demon. I think the Bane's probably ideal here. You're up against a likely BKB carry, and the Shadow Fiend gives you a good setup for the arrow. It does make them a little bit single target heavy, but they've got 2 picks to shore that up. So I think
Shadow Demon's Shadow Demon's good against like your melee carries on the other team because you can kite them around a lot, but like it's a ranged SF. You've got Stampede as well, so that kind of negates the Demonic Purge. I think Bane would be fantastic. Otherwise, you look towards like I guess other more standard supports like your Revenge, whatever else it may be. Revenge really love their Sanking as well. They played that all throughout yesterday, picking it up quite frequently.
And apparently chat misses their music. They want it back.
Yeah, I don't blame them. I want me some.
Yeah, that was my favorite thing when I forgot about the overlay. The first time I ever had like a draft overlay, forgot to turn it off. After I took it off, finally, people were mad, and then they're like, "Give the overlay back. We want the overlay back."
It was like you had to selectively place where you were watching and casting through the overlays.
Oh yeah, it was a mess.
It was a new viewing experience.
So for Revenge now, I guess they've got 2 main options. One is the Naga mid, Mirana offlane, Lifestealer safe lane. Basically, Mirana and Lifesteal are your 2 side lane farmers.
Yep.
The other option is to put Naga or Mirana on a support role, and maybe we even see, like, say, a Storm Spirit come out here. Puck's been... Oh, no, Storm got banned, actually. They banned the Storm. Interesting. Yeah. They banned the Storm and Puck, and then they go into Lifestealer, so... Well, how are they going to look to use the Lifestealer this game? There's a Prophet, I guess, to combo with him, but... I don't know if their lineup really has room for a Prophet.
Yeah, it's almost as if they just don't care about using the Infest Bombs. But just
you know what? There's Batrider. Batrider's still out there.
Yes, and he'd actually be a really nice little pickup for Revenge for the offlane. You can put Mirana in support. Well, yeah, support role. Put the Naga Siren mid. I think Naga Siren mid's the best way to play it. But if they really have to, put Naga support. But Naga Lifesteal, 2 melee supports, 2 melee heroes in a tri lane. 1 being a support, 1 being the carry. Maybe not the most effective way to play.
Revenge biding their time here. I think Bane is the other option, potentially, if they want to run Naga and Mirana's cores, but, well, they're really thinking it over. I think there's not a clear answer for them what the right way to approach this draft is. And
They
they'll go
with
for the
TA.
Smash
Yeah,
TA.
why not? So it looks like
Very
it will be
good
Naga
matchup
support.
for Shadow Fiend. This is very tough for Shadow Fiend 1v1 mid.
Yes. Yeah. This is not ideal for him, and that lets Liquid know that they are most likely dealing with a Naga support. Going TA, Lifestealer, and Naga as 3-core lineup just will not work for you. Like, you'd have to have a Lifestealer off lane getting no farm and a Naga in like a safe lane farming role with a Mirana support. That is just way too greedy. So Liquid will be expecting a Naga support. They don't have to worry about the split push Ratto to this game.
They actually banned Shadow Demon. I would have preferred a Bane ban, but I think either one's a decent choice.
Yeah.
So I would have leaned towards the Bane. But, well, it's off the board now. I think for Revenge, pretty obvious you go Bane here. For Liquid, unless they wanted to take it themselves, what do you think Liquid's second support's going to be?
They've still got the junglers there, which they like to run, so maybe it's going to be
like a Chen, you think?
Chen Enchantress style hero.
Okay.
Revenge ban out the Venom. Venom actually makes a lot of sense because that matches up really well against the TA. You can do like a dual lane mid to help out the Shadow Fiend early on, and that's something Liquid may want to look to do anyways. The other support I still really like is CM. I think CM's just a great all-around underrated support hero.
Doesn't do that well against Lifestealer, though.
No,
Lifestealer feasts on that hero. TA pretty strong against her after the laning stage.
Very few supports do well against Lifestealer in general, though.
That's true. Well, there's one out there. His name's Bane.
Yeah, he does.
Bane also sets up the Starladder Crush quite well in the laning stage, so
yeah,
wouldn't be a terrible choice. But they'll go Dazzle. Minus armor. Sayori's cheering from the sidelines here. He gets the mass minus armor. The dreads are out in-game as well as in real life.
This Lifestealer is just going to melt. That's where it's good they picked the TA, because Lifestealer will not be able to just solo carry this game. We need backup plans, which is going to be the TA.
And this is also key for the 1v1 matchup mid. Sure, Shadow Fiend might be getting crushed and maybe in danger of dying, but you just TP in with the Shallow Grave, turns the game around.
Yep.
So expect to see a very early TP scroll on... I imagine it'll be TC playing the Dazzle. We should see way too on a signature Dazzle, or Shadow Shaman, rather. So, okay.
Well, Revenge, 1 pick remaining, and most likely looking towards a support, or do you put... Yeah, if you go support Mirana's in the offlane, which I guess works okay, but you could do Naga Mirana as your 2 supports. This used to be very common. Alliance used to do this here and there, and a lot of teams were doing this Naga Mirana
Liquid
combo.
was actually doing a lot of support
That's
Mirana,
right.
too. Back when good old Fluff was on the team.
Yep. So
oh, by the way, one thing we didn't mention yet, David, which I just noticed, is we actually have Masuku back in the game. So Revenge, no more stand-ins. They have their full 5-man roster for game number 2.
So the comeback begins, do you think?
Maybe. I could see it. I still think Revenge is fully capable of beating Liquid in a best of 3. Sure, they're down 0-1, but I like this draft better. It's a more comfortable hero selection for Smash, and it just is going to come down to execution.
Okay. I get a Vengeful Spirit last pick here, so let's get some extra physical damage themselves with the Aura, with the Howl for the minus armor. And we'll see how this works out for Team Revenge. I like their draft a lot better this game too, but I still think Liquid are looking pretty solid here.
Liquid's very scary to fight into. Great AoE minus armor, nuke damage, team fight presence. If they get their core items up, I think it's going to be a tough game for Revenge. More single target focused, pretty level and farm dependent. On the Radiant side, they'll have a harder time contesting the Roche as well. To me, it's kind of about those first 10 minutes. Do they start getting the ball rolling with the early Venge movements? Maybe the Mirana goes for some early ganks. Mihawk will be playing that.
Revenge have a lot of ganking power here with the Venge, the Mirana. And then Lifesteal, even once he hits level 6, you can use those Infests. Like, Infest the Mirana, you leap in. There you go. There's your carry. More likely we maybe see a blink on your TA, but either way, a lot of carry as well as ganking potential from the Revenge squad.
Yeah, Liquid definitely with the more balanced draft here. Revenge, much more just single target heavy. Late game, very fearsome in terms of having, I mean, basically 3 carries. You could even argue Venge could be a semi-carry if she gets the farm, but just as a support, more of a damage-dealing support later on. So, gods, with that being said, it's time for game 2 of this best of 3. Liquid on the dire side, Revenge on the Radiant, and just a crucial match for both teams. Liquid, they want to take it 2-0, have some confidence going into a showdown tomorrow with either Dog or EG. And as for Revenge, they're not out yet. They're South America's great hope. Can they bounce back? We'll find out now. For Team Liquid, we have Bulba on the Centaur, Quakefoot taking the solo mid Shadow Fiend on the dire side, not quite as strong. TC, your Dazzle, support in the offlane, way to your Shadow Shaman. And that does leave the King, Snake King himself, standing in. It's not Demon here today. He'll be playing the Starladder.
Well, for the Radiant side, it is the team from Peru. It's going to be Team Revenge. We've got Masoku playing the support Vengeful Spirit. We've got Mihawk on the Mirana, Smash playing the TA, heading towards the mid lane. Green or Mystico playing the Naga Siren. And that leaves, in the safe lane farming role, Benjes on the Lifestealer.
8 tangos, healing salve. He's expecting a lot of early harassment.
Almost as if they're going to leave him safe lane solo.
That's
when
what
he
I
goes
thought,
these
but they're
items.
rotating. Are they running dual lanes?
Well, Could be dual lanes, could be... looks like, well, Naga's
Mirana
staying
Naga
near
off
top.
lane. I think they might just run dual lanes with this Mirana Naga and then look to do the dual lane bottom with Lifesteal Revenge. Okay. Kind of looks like that.
Liquid, what have they got heading towards bottom? It looks like Way2's thinking about going bottom himself. But yeah, Shadow Shaman plus Slider off lane. This is dual lanes from both the two teams, depending on where Dazzle ends up. But I imagine that may be up top.
Well, first lane, solo mid.
The whole chat, Roshan. I guess Revenge didn't think to check, and it's something that Liquid could have done.
Yeah.
I think he was just like asking, like, "Oh, Roshan, no, phew,
okay,
we forgot to check."
Bullet dodged.
Yeah, I think they realized like really late they didn't check Roche because Liquid definitely could have killed Roche level 1 with this lineup.
Yeah, so it turns into a dual lane versus dual lane mid, but Revenge basically a double melee lane. So TA versus Shadowfee 1v1, very strong matchup advantage for TA, but in this 2v1, it might be a little bit more, or even 2v2, it might be more even. And I think they realize like it's better just to set Naga bottom. Ultimately, she's just not going to offer too much mid, but well,
yes,
she's coming back.
Yeah,
maybe she is sticking around.
I'd be a bit surprised if Naga, like you say, two essentially melee heroes against two ranged heroes. Naga's not going to be able to get in that close. May get off a Riptide hero there, but the trades in Harass will not be anywhere near matched up.
I'm a little worried about the Lifestealer bottom. They can shackle him here. No, they start with an Ether Shock, a Crush follow-up. He's not going to die, but necessarily, but, well, actually, he might. No, drops quite low, but they just have good burst damage out. And already the Sal's been forced out, chewing through those tangos.
Yep.
Their pole camp's also been blocked, and do they have sentries to deward is the question. They do not.
Venge, yeah.
No sentries.
This is problem for this bottom lane. They're almost going to have to bring a full tri-lane here, but they're going to put the Naga top. I think I would have preferred Revenge to go with a standard tri-lane, because then they could actually win this bottom lane. Right now, they're not really doing that much top lane or bottom lane, and mid lane, well, they've got a TA against an SF, which is an advantageous matchup, but the two side lanes, I don't really think either is that favorable for them.
Yeah, still bottom lane. They're getting decent farm on the Lifestealer now as he's got a little support in the lane. We'll see Way2 look towards the bottom rune. Has not spawned yet. But Smash does get his 1v1. 6-1 already. The problem is, I guess, Quickfoot got those first few souls, so it's a bit tougher, but still a TA advantage matchup. When you hit level 5 to 6, Shadow Fiend basically needs to carry a TP scroll, or they need to have the Dazzle ready to join the fights. And, well, TC, only level 1 so far, but he should have an early point in Grave. I would say no later than level 3 or 4.
Yep. As far as things stand in the mid lane, TA 10-2 to the 7-3 of SF, so SF actually with plenty of souls to start things off. So with the plus 20 damage, he can last hit okay against this TA, especially when Refraction's not up. But Smash, he's got the bottle, he's bottle crowing, and SF actually going to use Razors for last hits, which is probably a good idea at this stage of the game.
Oh, they went for the Courier Snipe mid. It's still before the 3-minute mark. Unfortunately, the timing just wasn't quite there.
He got the Illusion Rune, yeah, which would have given that little bit of extra damage boost and helped him tank up tower hits, but...
In the offlane, Mirana, Naga, getting decent levels, I guess, is the main thing. Liquid are doing pretty well there as well. And it just seems like a fairly even laning stage, which I would say for Liquid, then it comes down more to, like, once Smash hits level 7. Does he start making plays? Do they roam the Mirana around looking for pickoffs? Sure, Revenge aren't getting these early kills, but they still have a very strong mid-game ganky lineup. If they don't find those ganks, and you go just into the mid-late game just farming,
yeah,
Liquid have the better team fight. That's where it gets tough.
I think Liquid are building towards something which is in the mid-game, which is going to be quite hard to deal with, which is the Blink Dagger on Centaur. That doesn't really seem to have like an opposite initiation tool coming out from Revenge. And once his Centaur gets a Blink, it won't be until like 10+ minutes into the game, but that's going to be a big timing window for Liquid where Revenge may not be ready to deal with the Liquid aggression.
Smash doing a nice job of controlling the lane, using Refraction to deny pretty effectively, but the raises come out from Quakefa. And mostly it'll just be farm for now. Rotation is here for Liquid, though. They've got 3 heroes bottom. They want to go on Benjaz. The ideal target is Masuku, but he's played far back, defensively positioned.
Yep.
They could potentially kill this Lifestealer, though. There's the heal that will go through Rage, the Dazzle heal bomb, and they've got just instant lockdown in terms of the shackles. Like, if you get that cast animation off, he's not going anywhere. You can crush follow-up. So they just... I think even for a Lifestealer, it's still a lane where he can die.
Yeah, it does have to be very, very careful here. And Snaking is just going to be looking to rush some early trades here. Shadowwave coming out doing a lot of harass on Benjes. And once again, he's actually picked up additional Tangos, I believe. Or maybe he's just managed to save these last few Tangos.
Way off on his own. The minus armor's here. Easy first blood. They want to give it to the Naga, I guess, and they'll succeed in doing so. Well, that's what Revenge needed. Just get the ball rolling. They can just rotate bottom right now. There isn't Dire Observer Ward.
Yep.
But that one kill can start the ball rolling.
Yeah, it'll be a fast, potentially Arcane Boots for Mystico. And this is where having just a normal safe lane tri-lane is much more suited to their playstyle. Because I think tri-lane versus tri-lane, Liquid's tri-lane at bottom is not that powerful. Like an off-lane Shadow Shaman, he's going to be under-leveled, under-farmed. At this point, I don't think Way 2 wants to return bottom. He wants to go top, try and jungle, pull, at least stack neutrals, although it has been blocked off, but I don't think he really offers a whole lot to this bottom lane, because he's going to go into the mid-game very poor and very under-leveled.
I completely agree. And the other thing is, they could potentially kill Mirana. Already, the Centaur's hit level 5, he's got the level 3 double edge. I'd say once they get level 2 Ether Shock, if they can get a Shackles, that would be the death of the Mirana. So, more kill potential top, more levels probably coming top. At the very least, he can stack the woods for the Shadow Fiend. So,
yep.
Speaking of the Shadow Fiend, Koikfa, right now, just off in the woods, let's see, how many heroes does he see? Doesn't see the Naga.
He knows that they just killed their bottom lane, so I think they know that Naga VS a bottom.
Yeah, and they do have the Observer, so he's just looking to stack the woods here as it gets close to the 50-second mark.
Yeah. There's no creeps to farm at mid with Smash, getting the wave pulled way back behind his tower. Smash is going for a fast Midas here. Has been bottle Krong for quite some time, and we'll see.
You think it's a Midas, not just treads?
Yeah, I think it's pretty uncommon that you get the gloves before the
belt, yeah,
the belt
or
whatever it may be when you go treads.
Yeah, that's a good point. The one thing with gloves is it kind of leaves your options open. Like, you can decide later, whereas if you go for the stats item, you're committed. Some people are afraid of commitment gods.
I don't think Smash is one of them.
Smash
is
not.
This guy
man's
reeks
up.
of confidence.
Yeah.
When it comes
lose.
to Dota, that is.
Freddy is not afraid. Great. That's a great Dota name. Well, either way, they'll look to go in mid here on Koikfa. There's a dire Observer Ward, though, well positioned. Everything's been spotted out, and his positioning is just so good to defend against this dive. Even so, there's a level 6 on TA. They've got to have a TP in case this dive happens, I feel. Oh, they'll go in on the bottom lane. Benjaz, though, has the rage. Can't really commit.
SF not going greedy. He picks up some early treads, so he won't be going for the Midas build.
Well, Revenge got the one kill, but I still think it's all right for Liquid. My main worry is, like you said, the underleveled Shadow Shaman. Otherwise, I think things are pretty good. Snake King's farming, getting decent level. Shadow Fiend's having a good time mid. Oh, looking for a solo kill here. Can't quite run down that Naga. Just a bit too speedy. And the other key thing is Bulba getting his levels up. He's already level 6. I guess that's the consideration is if they want to dive mid, there's just Stampede, so it's unlikely to work.
Yeah. This was kind of similar to the last game where it took a long while before Way 2 and TC started getting kills, but once they did, they got a couple good kills in a row. They got a lot of experience and farm from it and caught up. But
oh, this dive onto Masuku. He's going to walk right into them. The stun's there. Way 2's trapped in by the creeps. The creep gets killed off. Now the Stampede comes. Liquid just not on the same page. Some heroes running in, some running out. Are they going to lose Way 2? The Riptide secures the kill, and on the backside of play, it's another kill. Smashes join the party. 2 heroes fall. And a quick and decisive lead now secured for Revenge. Big kills coming out across the board.
That was some really questionable play, especially from Way 2 there. I think he got trapped in by the 2 creeps. It looked like he was trapped, kind of, but he was just attacking and not even trying to escape. And then just questionable play to run back in with the Stampede.
Yeah, they stampeded, and then he started running away. TC started running in, and then Way 2 decided he should go in too, and then ran into the newts and just died. But
biggest miscommunication I've
yeah,
seen
it's
in
the
a long
stand-in
while.
factor, basically. And I guess, and I don't know, Liquid just not quite on the same page.
Yeah, I think it's more just the Liquid and disarray factor. Like, that was TC and Way 2, just not like
No, yeah, not blaming Staking, just more saying, like, they're switching roles a bit. Yeah. They're not that comfortable with the overall team dynamic yet. But it was just a Lifestone TA on the backside. They have no stuns. You can just run away with Stampede from that. So.
They also had no detection for the Moonlight Shadow. Like Way 2 was running away while TC ran in. TC should not have been running into a hero who was about to be invis that they had no detection for.
Yeah, completely agree. Well, Smash is on the move, and he's got that Midas Gold very, very soon. So this is a problem. If they start getting kills, the death on Snake King, or on Snake King supports there, slowing him down. This could be the death on Snake King. Arrows available, they'll let it fly, and Smash comes in, just starts chopping away. The stun is there, but it's not enough. That last auto attack from Mirana with Phase Boots secures a crucial kill. Slowing down the Blink Dagger. Bulba not getting a Blink Fast. Actually, earlier in a region on top of the Tranquils, is he rushing a mech?
Mech or Force Staff, I guess, both are possible. Do you go Force Staff against this team? I don't think you want to rush a mech as a Centaur.
I mean, Liquid's teamfight is really strong, but not until quite a bit later in the game. And Blink is a good teamfight item anyway, so I'm a little surprised.
I'd say it's more likely to be a Force Staff than a mech, but we'll find out. Benj just actually baits out the rage. Nicely played by Bulba, but he's not going to chase this even with the haste rune.
So for Liquid, key objectives seem to be getting Shadow Fiend's BKB, getting levels on their supports, and not feeding.
Yeah.
What do you think the chances are of them not giving up kills? Lifestealer's about to hit level 7. Naga Song isn't too far off. And just the pick-up potential for Revenge in the mid-game is pretty
I think
good.
they should do okay-ish, because TA's gone for a Midas build, not going for like a fast phase drums to get aggressive. And also Lifestealer, he hasn't really got anyone to infest into for these ganks of his. So even though he's going to have a fast phase boot, possibly a fast drums to go with that, he's got no one to actually roam around the map with when he gets phase drums. He has to initiate himself rather than have a Storm or a Puck to blink him in.
Good little trick by Bulba. If you are going into woods as Centaur, drop your Tranquil Boots, or any jungler for that matter, and you can kill creeps quickly. Drop them, then kill the creeps. That way the Tranquil Boots don't break, and you just keep on regenning with no delay. So just a cute little trick. Let's see a smoke gank here, top from Naga. Not level 6 yet, though. I don't know if they really need to be forcing things too much. And it looks like they'll just kind of have a look around and back off in the end.
Yeah, Mihawk was amp damaged up. He backs off towards his tower. And yeah, Liquid finally getting some stacks, some pulls, and just doing more.
Oh, they found Koikfa right onto him. Goes the Naga, smashes here. There's just an immediate TP out. If they had a Psalm there, that's a kill. But, well, without it, this is where I also want to say TC needs to be carrying a TP scroll. He did not have one there. You can't just count on the Stampede, but top lane. Nice arrow by Mihawk. Yeah, I feel if you're support Dazzle, carrying early TP is mandatory. That's what you always see out of players like Vankscore. A lot of those common Dazzle picks is early TP to protect your carry.
Well, yeah, I'm going to have Centaur. Bob was up to 1.1k gold, so he is going for something big, whether it's the 4 stuff or the Blink. They have to wait and see. Blink is just such a core item on Centaur. Maybe it's just a casual ring of regen for his later on mech.
No, the Midas.
Yeah.
Something we see a lot of out of next KZ is this just Midas solo mid Shadow Fiend. It's kind of like come back into
popular. It's easy build as well.
Yeah.
I think he even gets treads before his Midas, like Koikva's done here. He doesn't care about getting a 12, 13-minute Midas.
Oh, Smash has a DD rune. They need some backup here for Koikva. The TP does come in from the Dazzle just in the nick of time. And the arrow's going to connect, a long-range arrow. They'll force out a Centaur ult, and this means they can be aggressive. There's no Centaur ult to defend the tower. It goes down to the Mirana. In comes Staking, but airballs the stun. Now the Moonlight Shadow deployed. There was no amp damage. They don't have the vision. Meanwhile, bottom, onto Bulba. They've gone. He's low. He's not dead yet, though. The double edge comes out. He's so low. Can they get the kill? He walks into the trees. Then he thinks better of it, and that hesitation will cost him his life. There are stick charges here for Benjaz. Snake King, sprint cooling down. Oh, actually, he has the sprint. It's only level 1. But the back, the trap has been sprung. From the backside, they come with TC. The first one to get caught out. They're not dead yet, but Smash is here, and Smash is going to do work. Brings down one. Looking for Snake King, who should fall next. Can he actually get out of this? There's a trap. I don't know. Trap deployed. He goes down to the Riptide. Nicely done. An 8-2 advantage. Liquid are just snowballing out of control.
Yeah, Liquid, well, getting snowballed upon is revenge. Smash gets involved. He gets the phase boots.
Oh, yeah. I said that back. Yeah. Liquid are getting snowballed on out of control.
Yeah.
As you can see here, just a massive gold advantage claimed from that fight.
That was, really nice little clash there. Revenge, knowing their limits there. Lifestealer staying alive just barely. A few small things like not going Liquid's way, like the Starladder sprint wearing off just as he was about to catch up to the Lifestealer. Lifestealer narrowly surviving, then comes back into the fight once he's ready to and turns the fight around.
I think it actually was still on, but it's just a level 1 sprint. So, because he at least had the buff. So I think I just misinterpreted how fast
it was still on, but it was like just about to expire as well. So he was like slowly gaining ground with a level 1 sprint, but I think Lifestealer with phase boots is pretty much as fast as level 1 sprint Starladder.
I think Revenge is overly smart, and it suits them. Aggressive play, to me, Revenge is a lot like some of your top CIS teams. I mentioned Empire. I think playstyle-wise, that's where they do best, when they can just force the fights, be aggressive, control the tempo. And what I really liked there was they knew Centaur had been wasted mid, or used mid defensively, so they can force the fight bottom. There's no Centaur to get out. Dazzle just TP'd mid as well, so he's not necessarily going to be there with a timely grave, and just good movement. It's a team that is very polished, honestly, in some ways.
Yeah, absolutely. So Liquid from here, I feel like their supports are both really far behind. Those are the two heroes that, to me, are just being completely punished by this aggressive revenge style. Shadow Shaman still level 5. Dazzle, same story. They've just not been able to find the levels and farm they need in the jungle here. Weichu's maybe going to share some experience with the Shadow Fiend, which will help get him a level 6, but even with a level 6 Serpent Wards, I don't know how much Liquid want to take fights. They want to maybe try look for tower trades where they give up a tier 1 in exchange for a tier 1 somewhere else on the map.
Guys, if you're just joining us, this is the Starladder Season 9 playoffs for America. The winner of this tournament, this 4-team double elimination bracket, goes to Kiev. They get a lot of travel support from Starladder, and they'll be fighting for over $200,000 on land. The biggest prize pool right now in the West outside of TI4, which I imagine will top it. But we'll see about that. Hasn't really been officially announced yet. So Starladder, huge tournament for all these teams. And just good practice as TI4 invites. Qualifiers could be coming soon. They do see Koikfa here.
Berserker gonna
tuck himself in. That night vision. This is
Yeah.
daytime. He just dies there, or
Yeah.
maybe TP's out in time. But
He's got his team some great vision up in this dire jungle. He knows when it's safe.
you know what this reminds me of Fluff.
Ooh.
Just Fluff going off on his own for these crazy warding missions.
Yeah.
I guess the difference is Fluff would do that like even when they're really far behind, but Revenge using their lead to their advantage to get that good vision up.
These wards could definitely set up some kills later on in the game. We are going to have Revenge with Smash and Mystico smoked up towards the top jungle, but no one's up there, so Liquid grouped as 4-5 bottom. 4 bottom, and there's just the SF not actually there with them. SF maybe he's going to TP bottom as well.
How are they going to get the jump here on Lifestealer? There's no Blink Daggers.
I think it's more like a let's push with Serpent wards kind of thing. Like, hey,
Okay.
we see Revenge top, or at least, yeah, we see 2 heroes top. Let's try to get this bottom tower.
But Revenge are going to contest. They've got a Naga-san here. She can San while the rest of the team TPs in and joins the fight. This could be a disaster for Liquid if they're not careful.
Yeah, and TPs are already coming.
But
so.
they do have a lane ward here. I don't think they saw the... No, now they've seen the Naga.
Well, they drop a Sentry Ward for some detection for the Mirana Moonlight Shadow. They want to stay close to the Serpent Wards and also close to this Sentry Ward.
They're going to defend this, though.
I think Liquid bail at this point. I don't think they want to stick around much longer.
And the Serpent Ward's pretty much wasted. Again, another opportunity
Yeah.
for Revenge, a big ultimate on cooldown. And the Shadow Shaman ult has a pretty long cooldown, even compared to Centaurs. They can force something now.
That was not a favorable trade for Liquid, but at the same time, if they hung around and tried to force that tower, they would have just lost the fight horribly. So
That Naga. I mean, just the threat of the song while your team TP's in, devastating to
Yep.
deal with.
And that Naga almost has a mech as well.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Buckler? Oh,
Buckler,
almost, yeah,
800
has the
gold.
gold for the headdress
Just
as well.
600, 700 away.
What is her record? 3-0-2. Mystico making the plays. That's huge. And has the levels, too. Like we mentioned, a very greedy draft. Level-dependent supports. 3 cores. You could argue Naga almost another semi-carry, potentially. And no, they had their good start. Leading 8-2. Exactly what the Doctor ordered for Revenge, as they are on the ropes. Need to win 2 in a row to move on.
And again, Liquid try and look for a trade. Like, they try to get the tier 1 mid for the tier 1 bottom, but they're just unable to do so. Revenge just defend these lanes with 1 or 2 heroes. And again, it's, the fear of a sleep from a Naga Siren or an arrow landing. And not just the tier 1 bottom, it looks like Revenge may get the tier 2 as well.
They're 50 gold from this Bulba Blink. Without it, can they really get a jump in? I just don't see it happening. Who will try to make his move now? There's a Song available. Probably should just pop it. The Song gets dropped. Benjaz could just TP out. Everybody can just retreat except for the Naga. There's the Moonlight Shadow, buying her space to back off, and the tower will be denied. And the cost is also a Moonlight Shadow. We'll have another disconnect here, but good for the Naga. I thought she wasn't going to pull the trigger. Might have cost some teammates their lives, but does it in the end.
Yeah, takes the safe way out. Liquid may look to go for a counter push at this bottom lane, now knowing that Sleep's on cooldown. A lot of these heroes just use the TP out as well, so they TP'd home. They can't really get to this tier 1 tower very fast, so if Liquid want to, they can probably get a tier 1 bottom, but that's such a small prize at this point in the game. Like, they'll get him a bit of gold. Doesn't really get them any map control because this tier 1 bottom tower is so far away from like anything happening on the map. So it's not really that big of a win for Liquid.
I think the one thing it's good for is maybe your Starladder gets his Blink, because he's got 1,500 gold. I imagine we're just going to see Snaking still go for it. I guess they have Centaur to initiate, but I feel just having that extra mobility just makes it so much easier to get pickoffs. Every pickoff creates space for the SF, gives you maybe an opening into Roche, but well, either way, Snaking pretty poor. As for Bulba, he will get his Blink Dagger now, so
yep,
they'll have that for the next fight.
Cool.
It's a kind of a late blink, though, on Centaur. 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
That casual Reign of Regen, honestly.
He had the
probably
support. Like, he was
delays
dual
it,
lane
like,
versus
2
dual lane
minutes.
at the start, so... I mean, the Dazzle eventually left to go help the bottom, like, tri-lane, but I feel Liquid made a big laning mistake doing that dual lane / tri-lane bottom. Like, it started off as a dual lane, they eventually sent Dazzle as well. Shadow Shaman's a hero who needs to be in the safe lane, pulling, stacking, and using that pull camp. Sure, it's warded, but that's why you start with Sentry Wards, you deward it, make sure your Shadow Shaman has a place to get golden experience, because you desperately want those Serpent Wards as fast as possible. But
yeah, and they were quite delayed. They also weren't used that effectively earlier. Then again, Liquid they kind of have their hands tied at this point. They just need to stall, create space for the SF. Speaking of which, BKB check. 1,800 gold up, nothing on the courier, I believe. Yeah, so still a ways off, but, well, Snake King does have amp damage up. Do they try and seek a Roche?
That's the other thing. Yeah, they've got all this minus armor on their team. SF only level 11, so just the 1 point in presence of the Dark Lord, but...
Well, K-Pop Toast has called it. It's that 68% win rate on the dire side for Shadow Shaman. Much higher than his Radiant win rate.
This is looking like a potential one of those anomaly losses, at this rate at least. Revenge.
Well, so far. But if Revenge dive top...
Oh, look at this aggressive maneuvering.
This is what I want to see from Revenge. Just force the issue. Don't let Liquid get comfortable. Put some pressure on them and Sure, it doesn't work out here, but that is exactly the kind of dodo that Revenge should be playing.
Oh, they're sneaking into Roche. They want to go for this.
They are
Hex
just actually
into
straight up
amp,
walking
yeah.
in, but there is no ward here.
Yeah. It's pretty hard to contest this just because of how fast Liquid will kill this. The minus armor, the Serpent wards, and here comes TC as well. Provide some extra damage in here with the Shadow Wave. And
The ganking party's heading in. Smash does have a Blink Dagger. Can he come in and steal the Roche? They've dropped the Dazzle ult to help keep them alive. Roche is so low. Arrow to fly. It's going to connect. Into the pit goes Mihawk. He snatches the Aegis. The plays. Benjaz now on to TC. And it could all just fall apart here for Liquid. They get off a crush. The Mirana comes back to life. And Koikfa has to fight his way out. He's surrounded by 3. Nowhere to run. Nowhere to hide. Although he is invis. Pops their invis and will be able to get away in the end. And they TP out as well, but that Mirana, I thought the arrow actually hit Roche, but it hit someone right as the Roche died, I believe. And
it hit Starladder, it hit Snaking. Snaking was the one who I think was meant to pick up the Aegis, and that also helped the Mirana steal it, because Liquid's like, okay, Snaking, you take the Aegis, but he got hit by the arrow as Roshan died, and it's all over from there.
If that was like a quarter of a second earlier, Revenge, give up the Aegis, the game could just go completely differently. They'll still look to fight mid, though. GRN, he's quite low. There's no song here. They'll be forced to retreat out. And they did use some TPs earlier. Well, they'll just back off, blink away, and now Liquid keep on chasing, but there's no blink on Snaking. The trap gets deployed. Well done by Smash. Masuku still trying to make his escape. He's pretty low. Another trap gets dropped, but the tier 1's here. It keeps him safe. And Liquid desperate to find an opening. Are they really diving for Smash? Oh, Snake King forcing the issue. Perhaps Bulba's going to go in, but Snake King, as he pulled his team into a bad engagement, Bulba's low, gets graved up. Well done by TC. Now the crush comes through. Bulba should fall here. Can he TP out in time? In comes the Mirana nuke. Snake King, he's just brought his team into what could be a death trap. One more right click will bring him down. The trap gets deployed. That'll give Mihawk the range. Gets off the auto attack, and they just lost 2 cores because Snake King got a little over-aggressive.
Yeah, Snake King just a bit too cocky there. And Mihawk, once again, on point with the arrow. First the Starladder in the Roche pit, this time Centaur under the tier 1 tower. He's just been hitting some huge, crucial 5-second arrows onto Team Liquid.
The good news for Liquid is Koikfa did not die in that fight. Yeah. Sure, they gave up the Roshan, but they did get the Roche gold as well.
True.
It's not a total disaster. And overall, it looks like Revenge came out on top, but it's not nearly as overwhelming as what you might think. And the Aegis was expended too.
Top lane, they're going to cancel Koikfa's TP here. Masoka needs to be careful. 1 or 2 raises. Actually, Masoka's just going to straight up die.
But Koikfa's going to die here as well. TP cancel, nothing to do but pop as Smash just blows him up. Smash is getting big, going hard, level 14.
Yep.
And I don't know if they can deal with this farm TA.
Serpent wards are going to bring down this top tier 1 tower, but this is giving TA a deny. Yeah, I don't know why he was focusing the tower there, because this gives away a free deny.
You know, yeah, that's a bit of a mistake. The other thing is, we mentioned there's not really a great lifesteal or vehicle. A farm TA with the Blink becomes a pretty good vehicle.
Yeah.
So they can just jump in, pop Rage, maybe pop BKB on Smash when he gets the item, and they can just kill anyone. What's SF going to do against that? Maybe he gets graved.
He's decided not to go BKB. He's going to go for a Manta style first, or at least what looks to be a Manta style. Picks up a Yasha for himself.
So who went for that?
SF.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the TA.
No, he's going what looks to be Manta style. Sand and Yasha would be a bit very unorthodox. Manta style, I mean, against the physical damage of TA lifesteal is probably an alright choice. So BKB, you can just get isolated. Like if they cast Song of the Siren and you get ensnared as SF and BKB, you just get destroyed by Lifestealer plus TA. So I think it's maybe worth not going BKB.
And Dazzle can't grave you if he slept. Something else to worry about here for Liquid. The BKB really could be a double-edged sword.
Yep.
But we'll see. For now, I think for Liquid, they're just at a point where they have to bait bad engagements out of Revenge. They can't really force fights. They had maybe an opening when the Centaur first got blinked, but that opening's pretty much gone at this point. If they force a fight, very high percentage I feel that they just get overextended, get cleaned up by the chasing power of Lifestealer, Mirana, as well as TA.
The good news for Liquid is if they ever win a fight or get a couple kills, there's so many tier 1 towers that are like, one's deniable at top lane, mid lane sitting on less than 200 HP, bottom lane less than half HP. This is a lot of gold, which will be easy for them to pick up. So what's currently about almost a 10k gold lead for Revenge, if they give away a couple kills and Liquid get these towers, suddenly becomes half of that.
Way too. Oh, Masuku disconnected. He was standing right here. It looked like he was going to make a move into the jungle to catch Way 2.
With a Howl plus swap, he could have stopped
There was like a 3 or 4 second delay where he wasn't moving. I think he'd already like lagged out but hadn't disconnected from the game.
Yeah.
That would have been the time to Howl and get off a stun. But
did he actually know Way 2 was there? Like, did he have the...
Way 2 had showed himself in the lane. He was farming the lane and then went towards the trees. So they could have... Maybe they would have imagined he TP'd out, but... you know, it's like you lag out, but you don't disconnect for a few seconds, so you don't start moving back right away.
I'm going to have to take over.
That might be the difference. What's going on?
The TP noise. Does that not, like, kill your eardrums?
Yeah, that's pretty annoying. Now that you pointed out and draw my attention to it,
Yeah,
I could do without it.
Yeah. Oh, peace and quiet again. Ah, nice.
That glowing red lifestealer, just all blood, all gore. 3k gold up. The thing is, also, Benjaz is not too far off of potentially just a straight Abyssal Blade. I feel like he doesn't really need the Sanjin Yasha. They've got so much other chasing power on this team, and he's got the vehicle and the TA, the leap move speed. If you just go Basher here, SF could just be food top lane. Arrow to fly, TC is going to walk right into it. Beautiful arrow once again from Mihawk, but in comes Snakecade. 3-Hero Crush. Unfortunately, Benjaz, oh, nice grave from TC, keeping himself alive. There's a Son available. They're going to pop it, and do they stay around? They want to get this TC kill. Oh, he's just going to throw his own life away, it looks like. Gets off the Riptide, will secure the kill, and then baits 4 heroes, and even the ward's getting dropped by Wave 2. Arrow's going to connect.
Another arrow! It's going to bring it. Blink in from Smash. Finishes off the Shadow Shaman. Swap onto the Starladder now. Snaking in all sorts of trouble. One more right click from the TA. Wolfman and Shimoff. Meanwhile, Koik for high ground Wrecking Missiles. Not really doing a whole lot of damage. Smash just trying to go ham with the BKB. His team are meanwhile clearing off the Serpent Ward. So Smash forced to retreat. But 3-for-1 trade. And these arrows, they just keep landing.
Mihawk, he's been busting out his inner Sing Sing. This is some next level Mirana play, and it's making the difference. These arrows aren't just, oh, nice arrow. They're actually winning them the game. They got the Age of Steel. He's found multiple pickoffs. He's shut down supports who could have gotten off Shallow Grave, retreated out. Game-winning play for Mihawk
He's
right
hit,
now.
I think, 5 arrows in a row. All of them 5-second ones during team fights or ganks, and they're just setting up kills and helping Revenge win these fights.
And Smash is just grooving right now, blinking back just to get a new side blade angle for the creep wave. It's like you can just tell from the way he's playing, there's the rhythm right now, which they didn't have it all in game 1. And Revenge, a very momentum-based team for me. When they're ahead, they just feed off of the emotion. When they're behind, sometimes they struggle to find their footing, but hey, they're really ahead right now.
And Smash 6-0 and 5, 112 CS, 2k gold on top of this BKB. He is just massive right now.
Another disconnect for Koikfa. The internet issues continue, I suppose.
Unusual.
As we mentioned in the draft, though, it's a tough game for SF if Revenge get ahead. Just so much minus armor, great physical damage, not a good matchup against TA, generally speaking. That's where Liquid just needed more out of their utility heroes. The early blink on the Starladder was quite delayed. Bulba, it seems like a small thing going for the extra reign of regen, but it maybe delayed his blink by a minute or two. Didn't have it for that fight bottom that they ended up losing. And especially what you mentioned, the Shadow Shaman just very late to get the wards out for Wave 2. It does bring you back to the question of if Liquid lane this a bit differently, would the game have developed differently?
It was just weird because like normally you at least make sure one of your side lane cores has a good time, but they gave Bulba a tough time against the dual lane, and they also gave the Starladder a tough time at bottom lane because he was in the off lane against kind of a dual lane in what turned into a tri lane. So neither Centaur or Starladder had a good time when they could have easily just tri lane top, given Starladder free farm, and got their support some nice pulls. Like that would have just been such a safer way to play this game.
Minus armor has arrived. There's another -7 now from the Desolator to go with the -8 from the TA Meld. That's -15.
And what's TA picked up?
And there's a medallion on the Venge. So there's another -6 that's -21, and you throw in the Max Wave of Terror. That is -27 armor. Everyone from Liquid will be basically at like -20 plus almost. It's just, they're all going to pop if they get hit by the minus armor combo.
Well, yeah, this is really tricky for Liquid. Like, BKB is not a solution. I think Quake just got it right. But
he's looking to dive in right onto TC. Grave is available. He doesn't get it off. He just hesitates for a quarter of a second. Cost him his life. Meanwhile, bottom, I think they'll find the Naga here. Mechs up. No song. Will fall. The TP comes out mid from the other support. It looks like Shadow Shaman made it back to base, but a 1-for-1 exchange. Both supports falling. Actually fairly even, I would say. Although Stampede is on cooldown now.
Snakey needs to be careful. He's kind of trapped in the jungle. He does have a TP and a blink. He's kind of pinging as if he wants to go in.
There's a Radiant Observer ward, though.
Yeah,
he needs to back off.
He manages to avoid it. He'll walk over this trap now by the looks of things.
Uh-oh. Will there be an arrow? Arrow to fly. It's actually into the base. Way 2. Is he going to get caught? It's a little bit far to dive. They thought it was going to hit. That doesn't even matter that it doesn't. Bulba still drops. There's no Dazzle in range for a Grave, and now it's just a bad fight, but Smash perhaps getting cocky. He's dove deep for this one. He has the stick charges. Blake crushes there. Smash with a little 322 action as he dives the tier 4s while his team is just trying to break base.
Yeah, he's like, where were you guys?
Another sticking around for this one. Arrows there. Out comes the Requiem, completely dodged by Benjaz, and now TC. That's a timely Grave. It'll keep him alive. Quakeful wants to go back in. Benjaz, armlet toggling up. The raid, nice defensive swap from Masuko. He'll sack his own life. Are they really sticking around? Oh, that Mirana Desolator damage. It hurts. It hurts good. They will get the kill. It's actually a 3-for-2 so far, but Mihawk quite likely to fall. The Sentry Ward gets dropped. One more raise required. Mihawk Phasing out, raises there. Koikfa gets the double. A great little 3-for-3 exchange.
Yeah, big team fight, and finally Liquid have something go their way there, and it all started from Smash just diving way too deep on his own. That should not have happened, but...
Like I said, they just, not having met them, but just watching them play, they just feel like a very momentum-based team, very emotional team, and when they fall behind... when they get ahead, sometimes that momentum gets the best of them.
Yeah, so Team Liquid come out well ahead on kills as well.
Almost a 2,000 gold swing was that from the team fight? Yeah, big gold swing. And the experience they're giving up as well. When you're trading kills with a 21-10 lead, as the graph suggests vaguely, it's a big difference. But we can see the exact numbers there, and it was quite a bit of a swing.
Snaking now. Liquid, I think, want to be ready for when Roshan respawns. They don't know when it is. Snaking just blindly blinks in to check it. So it's going to be quite a long Roshan respawn, which for now probably favors Revenge a little bit because they can just reset, focus on pushing out the lanes, getting map control, and then have control of the game when Roshan actually comes back up.
Snaking will crush the wave, looks to clear it out.
Speaking of armor, there's your Assault Cuirass.
So what did I say, -25? We'll add another -5 to that.
Okay.
Or was it -27? Something like that. It's about -30, maybe a little bit more. And I didn't actually factor in Riptide. I forgot about that. So,
jeez. If you get all those spells on...
I mean, of course, you probably don't get them all on one target, but that's the point. They only have to get like 2 or 3.
I mean, Liquid have the defensive weave. They
yes,
can use that.
That is true.
They probably want to use it defensively at this point. But.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, you'd like to get it on all 10 heroes, but in practice, just get the damn thing off, because he just dies in like 2-3 auto attacks from Smash.
And TC almost at level 11. He's level 10.5 right now, but not quite getting there. Bulba himself, he's working on a Heaven's Halberd. This will be a nice little item pickup, because not many of these Radiant heroes really can or want to go for an MKB. Mirana at this point wants to go for a defensive items like a Manta Style or a BKB. Lifestealer's got a long ways to go for an MKB. And TA, I guess he could MKB, but just for a Centaur, not really worth it. Actually, well, there's also Koikfa with evasion, so maybe it will become worth it to get an MKB.
Yeah, I guess that's 2 heroes with evasion. So probably MKB the choice, but I just think it's that next damage item that's key, because not even for those heroes so much as you can just one-shot Dazzle before he gets to Grave.
Yeah.
And that can just win you the fight. We'll see. For now, Liquid, they'll hold on to the high ground here. Smash. Chilling near the mid lane. And they're just keeping Liquid bottled up. Sure, the SF is farming, but you just look at these other heroes. 7k net worth on the Centaur, 6k on the Starladder. Heroes that don't flash farm well, heroes that don't split push incredibly well, and now that Revenge have them bottled up, I think they could just starve them. They've got great late game, plenty of carry potential. We haven't really talked much about the Lifestealer aside from the AC pickup, but if he gets an Abyssal Blade, Liquid ain't got squat on that.
Yeah, I think the big thing that for Revenge is starve him and then wait for Roshan, which just now respawns. So we probably see them at least send 2 or 3 heroes towards it, but Liquid, they try to engage, but the Song of the Sirens there, that keeps Mihawk alive at top.
They'll just start running away, but they're in hot pursuit. They could have gone for a TP out. Masuku, oh, they get off the amp damage. This probably is the death of the Venge. Goes right around the Rosie. The arrow connects again from Mihawk, but there's not a whole lot of follow-up. They've got another Blink Stomp. Revenge, they're going to lose 2. This could be 3 potentially. Meanwhile, the push does come through mid. Benjaz working on the mid tier 1. On the bottom lane is Smash. Working on the mid tier 3. Smash working the tier 3 bottom. But 2 big kills for Liquid. Yep. And they lose some tower HP, but that's a trade they're willing to make at this stage.
It's permanent damage. It's been done, but Liquid, it's just like buy time for the late game till they can get their next items on Shadow Fiend, Slardar, even your Centaur finishes Heaven's Halberd. So for Liquid, they just want to keep buying time. If that means taking damage,
Smash. He's trying to sneak Roche with 2 teammates dead. Really?
They saw him go in.
There's no song for this team either, but wait to gets caught out. Smash chops off one head. He's looking for a bit more. Blink Dagger cooling down in 5 seconds. Traps in the river. It will catch Snakey, and there's an Infest Bomb packed up and ready to go. And they'll head back the other direction. TC's been spotted out. No song. Remember that. Blink. Stop. Will connect. Smash has been caught out, but out comes the Lifestealer. Happy birthday, Bulba. Gets graved. Well done. Revenge. Are they doing enough damage? Benjaz is falling here. Stick charge is available, but is he going to get off? Defensive swap comes through from Masuku once again. Bailing a teammate out. No song for this fight. Masuku, probably the casualty of war. A blink forward. They found the Naga as well, and Revenge are collapsing after a fantastic little start. 22-14. The gold will just plateau, and now it's really going to fall as this Roche should go the way of Liquid.
They've got to be so careful, and that's Koikfa's Butterfly as well. That's a huge item pickup, because MKBs are still a long way away. TA completed the Manta Style, which is fine and all, but now TA has to get to that MKB status as soon as possible. Koikfa gets the Butterfly. He'll grab himself the Aegis as well, I imagine. And yep, it's going to be 2 lives on your Shadow Fiend. He's hitting hard and fast. And then we're going to have got Snaking working on maybe a BKB, maybe even Heaven's Halberd as well for Snaking, perhaps. He's got a Sanj. I don't think you really want a Sanj and Yacha. This is going to be another Heaven's Halberd.
That could be the moment when this game turned. When Revenge saw their chances to go to Kiev just slip away. They had such a lead. You go back to the dive for Smash top. Sure, he gave up the kill there, but the rest of his team mostly got out. Wasn't too costly. This particular engagement, where they try and force an engagement with no Nagasong, deep inside the Roche pit, the whole team wasn't there when the fight started. It cost them an Aegis. It gives huge items to Liquid, the Butterfly, the Manta. But it's not over just yet. Smash will push through the mid. In comes the Blink Crush. Connects on two. They'll focus on Mihawk. Can they bring him down in time? The mech is available. He doesn't leap out. He had a split second to do it before he got hexed. Didn't react in time. I don't know if it would have mattered. He wasn't facing the right way when the hex came through.
They knew SF had no TP pushing. Like, he picks one up now because he just went to the side shop, and they're like, oh, we've got this small window. SF can't get it. But even without the SF, the chain stun, the Blink AoE initiations from Liquid, it's just too much for some of these heroes to survive. And this is where Mirana wishes that maybe she hadn't gone for that very glass cannon-esque build. The Yasha into Deso is very squishy. You almost need to go for like a Manta Deso before you need some kind of survivability, either from a Manta or a BKB to go with that Desolator.
They do have a lot of other damage output as well. It's not like a one-position Mirana. They've got the TA to do damage, the Lifestealer to do it as well. Even Venge with her aura makes you a lot stronger, so...
Yep.
It's not a game where like Mirana had to do 80% of their damage, had to take a risk and go glass cannon, just was ahead, wanted to snowball. And now Liquid are punishing it.
And suddenly Liquid supports can actually stay alive in fights. You've got Shadow Shaman with a 4-staff. You've got Dazzle with a Ghost Scepter. The Ghost Scepter is great. Lifestealer TA, what are you going to do against these Ghost Scepters? And this is where Liquid, keeping their supports alive in fights for extra hexes, extra graves, heals, is going to go a long, long way as far as taking these next couple
fights.
fights.
And Masuko just off on his own in the woods. He will get caught out, easily dealt with. And Revenge, it's like the wheels have just come off gods. They just seem lost at this point, giving up solo kills, trying to force things when the team's not there. They were a well-oiled machine for the first 20 minutes, and it's just coming apart very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, Smash kind of led this team to this far in the tournament, but at the same time, he's also possibly leading them to their defeat in a game they should have won. As right now, Liquid, they're moving forward with this Aegis. They feel confident. They get themselves even a Tier 2 tower, and this is where Liquid, all these towers on the map remaining, has brought this gold graph from like a 15k gold lead down to like a 5,000 gold lead for Team Revenge.
Yeah, it was the Roche kill, the gold from the hero kills, but mostly, like you said, the tower gold. Mid lane, there will be a Song forced out. They're going to try and just go for a bit of Rat Dota here. They Song mid while they try and focus bottom, but the problem is Liquid still have plenty of heroes in position. Benjaz, Rage about to expire, Smash is on the run. There's an Infest available. He wants to go for it. Smash is going to stick around and give him a little time. He'll Infest. The ult comes, but it's already too late. Meanwhile, Quakefa found a kill on the Naga Siren. Song held them there as long as possible, but does go down. Mihawk could die as well. The raise, the one last tower auto tech brings him down. Quakefa getting double kills all around the map. That was unexpected, to put it mildly. Grave has been popped. Now the focus TC bottom, but the Ghost Scepter, like you said, the kiting potential is enormous. A crush on Benjaz. They're just forcing it too much. They can't go in like
throws,
this.
LD, the throws!
No, not like this. Smash, no!
My eyes cannot take it, LD, please! Please.
Oh my goodness.
For the love of all that is good and holy in Dota 2, why, Revenge? Why?
They had such a lead. They just had to starve them, take it easy, and, well, they did not take it easy. They said, we have to win in the next minute. Let's go. And look at the numbers and just weep.
That net worth change, like down, down, down. This goal graph has been a big roller coaster dip right now.
And that was a 9,000 experience win as well. Look at these levels on Liquid now. 21 Shadow Fiends. Level 21, 10-1 and 2.
He suddenly is a dataless. Like, what have we just witnessed? This is, to me, like as big as this is like if Liquid has lost game 1 with their anti-mage almost. At the same time, there was no way for them to throw it because there was no late game potential for Revenge, and there is late game potential for Liquid. But this is the kind of throw that Revenge have just pulled out.
Yeah, and it reminds me almost of that E-Hug versus Liquid game in the play-in tournament, where E-Hug had not quite as convincing of a lead, but still a pretty commanding lead, and it just came apart. Liquid even had like it was a very awkward game to run Weaver for Demon, tons of crowd control. You had to go BKB Lincolns first, and then E-Hug just started throwing fights, and the game fell apart, and it seems like Liquid may be slightly lucky that their opponents are just playing sloppy in the crucial games.
It all started with the TA diving the fountain. Well, not really fountain, but past the tier 3 tower at top lane.
Well, we give Smash the credit for his aggressive play. We gotta call him out when his over-aggression cost the team.
That was the beginning of the end for Team Revenge. Well, it didn't have to be the beginning of the end, but it just happened to be that after that, they kept on doing more and more questionable plays and throws.
Oh, you gotta feel for the South American Dota fans here.
Oh, yeah.
Revenge, their greatest hope. You've got teams like CNB who can put up a fight in future tournaments, but this could be the end of the line. Loser of this best of 3 goes home, and right now Liquid with the 1-0 advantage, pushing through the bottom lane. That's the last outer tower, aside from the tier 2 top. Make it the second to last. they just don't have much left to defend with. Koikfa, big as all hell. I don't know if they... Before, they could easily have dealt with them, but there's no MKB yet on the Mirana. There's no Scythe of Ice on this squad. It reminds me... You remember that Revenge game versus Na'Vi? They beat them in the group stages of WePlay. Smash went for an early Hex. I feel like they need that Hex now to deal with this SF.
Yeah. Well, either Hex or the other... I mean, he desperately needs an MKB is the other problem. Like, it's not just a Hex. He needs to be able to go through the evasion. I guess Hex is a way of getting through the evasion if you're hitting someone who's Hexed up, but...
My main concern is, yeah, also just killing these
Mirana's
supports.
been killed off in the jungle. Whew.
Oh, jeez.
That's just...
Snakehane finding solo kills on the enemy Mirana with just a Heaven's Halberd Treads plate mail blink. Like,
yikes.
Hardly any damage.
SF's Aegis has expired, but he's probably thinking, sweet, that opens up an item slot. I can get like
a
Satanic or something.
They're going to force it, but TC's right here, ready behind Koikfa. Manta out of the open wounds, and now the turnaround comes. They'll have to infest a retreat.
Yeah. TC thought about Graven for a second. It's like, wait a second, let's cancel this quickly because Koikva's going to be just fine. I think Koikva goes lifesteal at this point. Satanic as his last item. Well, it doesn't even have to be his last item. He can sell his Midas as well, but Satanic as his next item, probably the way he wants to go.
And once he gets that, they need the Hex because they're not going to burst him down before he gets off Satanic or before he gets Grave.
Oh, man. And Revenge going so greedy. Mirana's going even more glass cannon. Picks up a Demon Edge to start working on an MKB.
One Blink Crush, she's toast. She's just done.
Yeah. Like, I can understand the reasoning, but at this point, like, you almost wish you had an MKB instead of Desolate and you were working on a BKB or something to keep you alive.
The push comes through the top side, and Liquid are just in command of Game 2. They never should have thought they'd be here after the way the game started, but they'll take their position, and they'll thank their lucky stars. As Smash will try and stall this. Pushes through mid, but Liquid just pounding towards the tier 2. This is the last outer tower for Revenge. They probably just have to let it go. No, they're going to Song. They're going to look to fight. Is the arrow follow-up available? No arrow even thrown out for Mihawk, just stalling while Smash goes for the base trade. But the problem is Centaur's here, and I don't know if Smash can do it alone. They'll trade all right for now. The Hex comes in just on an illusion. Meanwhile, top, Koikfa, still a Snakehane in tow. They're not leaving just yet, but that's a long cooldown song. This is not your carry Naga with the 1 minute cooldown. Yep. It's still down for 100 seconds.
Well, with that, I think SF is considering possibly just going for the high ground here. Burst down one and now...
Two-shotted. Wow.
Mihawk goes down. He gets two-shotted as well. Beyond Godlike Street, Koikva's the hero of this game. 12, 1, and 2. Onto the high ground he goes. Shiver's guard for your Centaur. Liquid have turned around a 15k gold deficit there, 4k gold ahead. Smash is the only hope left standing, going for a bit of split push here, but it doesn't even look like that's going to be enough.
He's hunting way too, but meanwhile the team's pushing through. There's a blink out. We'll take a quick look. The racks are about to fall, but back to the team fight where Snakehane trap gets deployed. And are they going to continue pursuit here? Masuku dropping low. The SF's already brought down the melee racks. Now the range racks is fallen, and they're getting nothing in return. The Venge will swap herself back into trouble. Just had nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And they kill her off as well. 3 heroes dead. Koikfa never even joined the fight, and
7k gold.
That's probably it.
Where are the rapiers? We demand some rapiers, Koikfa. What on earth is going on? Whew. This has been some game, I tell you.
Like you said, the throws. I mean, yes, Liquid have made a good job of crawling their way back into this game, but Revenge just overextended horribly. They had some huge clutch plays from the Mirana earlier. Mihawk almost put the team on his back and carried it, but in the end, they just got a little bit cocky, flew too close to the sun, and it's all coming apart now.
Their only chance seems to be this Boots of Travel rat, which is what Smash is going to get now with his next item. Picks up a Boots of Travel, and, well, he's going to be all about that split push.
If they had the 1 minute Naga-san, it would be a lot more effective, but with the only level 2 Naga ultimate, the cooldown's just too long.
Liquid can just defend and gank him and then wait for the next Roshan. I don't think they even need to go for another Rax until they've got Roshan and they've maybe even ganked out Smash in the side lanes.
Other problem is Smash, not really the best build for killing buildings. No minus armor here. No Desolator, no Assault Cuirass.
They get a bit closer. This smoke will reveal. They're getting awfully close here, Snake King.
They found him. They found him. They blinked the wrong direction, though.
Blinking the trees, but they're not ping. They have no idea. They're not even like throwing pings at there. They're confused.
Smash stays in the trees, and he'll live to fight another day. But here comes Sensei King.
Well,
just hunting for
out pops Smash, and that'll frustrate Liquid. They'll see him then be like, God damn it, we got to deal with that. They've got to deal with top, and Benj is also split pushing top. I don't think Liquid really care about trying to end the game going through mid right now. Like, just defend. That's all they need to do is defend. Wait for Roshan. At the same time, they have to worry about Revenge trying to sneak the Roshan.
There's a completed Satanic here. Smash is pretty close to this courier. He could deny it. That would leave SF without buyback. Does he see it on the way out and go for it? BKB gets popped. Oh, no, he's just going to run. The trap gets deployed, and now Slardar's found him. The amp damage comes through. He'll head to the north, but Smash has been caught. Drops the gem as well. Oh,
Oh boy.
another big death for Smash.
Picks up his Satanic. I think we'll see Boots of Travel
Another big death for Smash.
Picks up his Satanic. I think we'll see Boots of Travel now to go with this. He may not have buyback, but I don't think Quake cares. He hasn't even come close to dying in the last.
He's like the god of war, and he's just got such good backup heroes on his...
He actually might Trinkle Boots. Whoopsie.
Koikfa, trembling with excitement, perhaps.
He's going to be pumped after turning this game around. He was a big impact.
Out of fly, Snake King, nice juke, and he'll get the haste as well. Now he's going to blink right in on GRN. They can force out a Son here, and then that means they can probably just go mid and look to Rax it.
Well, Snaking Dota, boys and girls.
No TP on this Naga, though. Can Snake King continue chasing? He's going to try to do so. And this Naga in all sorts of trouble. There's a blink available. The Crush is going to connect GRN. Mystico goes down. It's just not going Revenge's way at this point.
Oh, boy. There's an Abyssal Blade for the Lifestealer. So Abyssal Blade on Lifestealer. TA has buyback, is trying to save it for now, but this is just...
devastating.
It really is crushing to see a game like this.
It's so much worse to lose like this than to just get stomped. You have the game in your grasp. Game 3, you may be already looking forwards towards it, and then for this to happen.
Liquid are going to be thrilled and so happy to be advancing, but at the same time, they're going to be they'll admit like we should not have won this game. Like they'll know this game was
definitely
so
not this game number 2. Game 1 draft for Revenge a little questionable, but game 2, no way should they have come back.
But yeah, I don't mean the series as a whole, but yeah, this game too, was not Liquid's to win.
Oh, another blink, another Crush. Snake King all of a sudden is everywhere. Good defensive swap once again from Masuko. Will keep his carry alive, but now the real fight breaks out in earnest. BKBs get popped, but the SF just hits too hard. Benjas, he's not focusing on anyone. He doesn't fest. Might live to fight another day, but they just keep on chasing the T. It has Refraction up, needs to pop it now.
Needs to stay alive for the sake of this Lifestealer. He does stay alive here, but SF can he get the crit on the Marana?
Oh
Mihawk
my God.
gets 3-shotted.
Just explodes in a cloud of bud. Koik was like, should I take Rack? Should I take Throne? I'll do a little bit of it all. Just shows off at the tier 4s. The arrow won't connect. This is the end. Revenge, they're finished. They're toast. The blink. Crush on 3. In comes Bulba. They're jamming it in now. Liquid. They'll just barrel down the mid. Another crit. And another kill. Koikfa hits like an absolute truck. And Liquid, they'll end it now. They'll take the tier 4s. It's GG. Revenge call it. The South Americans are going home, and Liquid lives to fight another day. Either Dog or EG will meet them in your loser bracket finals for Starladder America.
Liquid's just one of those teams. I mean, they can be in some really bad form, but put them in a big match where they face elimination, they'll somehow deliver the goods, and that's exactly what they did here against a lesser experienced Team Revenge. Revenge, it really goes to show they just lack the, I guess, confidence and the know-how. Well, maybe it was too much confidence at times.
I think it was too much.
It was more that they lacked the control.
They lacked the poise.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that's going to wrap it up. We'll take a quick break here, I guess, and we've got another series coming up. It's EG versus Dog, best of 3. Winner, 1 win away from a trip to Kiev.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right, guys, we'll be right back. Stay tuned.